Good evening, race fans. Tonight, we bring you a special little matchup, Duck v Duck and Lefeinian ladder. We have Thaonar versus Franklin Radical Nerd. I'm joined in the booth tonight by Catnip Bumblefarts. Catnip, how are we doing tonight?
Doing alright. Ready to watch some Final Fantasy Randomizer action.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting matchup. We've got, flags are based off of the current Derby flags for this week, but the runners did do some modifications, so we'll go over them as they come up to us. Do you want to go ahead and try and discuss with us about these blursings? It's a mess of blursings, I know, so good luck.
Yeah, so there's a lot to go over, and we'll go over it pretty quick. So first, all different characters get a key item that they come along with. So more on that as the race progresses. And each character has three blessings and 2 curses. So let's just jump right in. The fighter comes with the rod, improved Thor hammer, heal plus magic, and wood set add 80 evade, and the curses -5 luck and no thief sword. The thief comes with the chime, equipped shirts, improved cat claw, equipped axes, curses Masa curse, poison, and -10 hit percent. Black belt plus loot. They can equip a shield. They have elemental magic and 5 extra luck, but they cannot equip a bracelet, and they get -1 MDef per level. Red mage. They get the adamant to come along with them, and they have resistances to PEDTS. I know P is poison, T I believe is time. I couldn't tell you what the rest of them are.
They're basically the insta-kills. Poison, earth, death, time, and status. Statuses don't have the insta-kills, but it's essentially the insta-kills plus the nasty spells. Just not the elementals, the fire, ice, and lightning, essentially.
Gotcha. Alright, so they get those resistances, plus 10 vitality, and they get access to the fast spell. However, they have -10 strength, and they cannot learn lock. White mages come along with the crystal, and they get +2 level 1 MP, 20 strength, and they can use thief swords. But they are broke. They have -350 gold, and they cannot use heal 3. The black mages come with the herb. They get extra 40 vitality, and they are rich because they come along with 1,500 gold, resist IED, but no ice 3, and they cannot use a pro ring. And we're off.
We're off, and we see Franklin running into Canary Castle. Check out our first entrance, and it's filled with boxes that have marks on them. So those boxes with marks on them, do you know what those are about?
So correct me if I'm wrong, but we have all of our key items are kind of available out anywhere, and those boxes would include those?
Exactly. Those boxes with the marks on them will have all of our key items that you see on our trackers, which you see on our trackers. Their trackers are already lit up with a bunch of items, and oh my, there's a lot going on here.
Okay. Did you see that nuke sword?
I did, for 3K though, so we're gonna have to hunt down some cash to get a hold of those. But once we have about 13-14K gold on us, the seat's pretty much free.
I think any magic troubles are solved pretty quick because we have spells on weapons.
Yes, spells on weapons, and it looked like elite caster gear inside of the shops as well, which could be very interesting. Now, there's no overworld encounters, so we're gonna have to fight the enemies in boxes to get our experience, possibly to get a little bit of gold here going. You saw there was only there's 2 chests inside of there that didn't have a mark on them, so they might have the 60,000 gold in it, but it also just might be a dud item like a tent that we really don't need right now.
Right.
I think Franklin did open them on the pass through, and I missed what they were. We should be able to see them here on Thaonar's side. Thaonar looks in the chest room and says, I think I can go do other things right now.
Yeah, with all the free items right out of the gate, I could see some attempt at exploration, but we don't know whether those NPCs would even have the items that we're looking for. So,
right, exactly. Oh, that's a chest to stumble across there. Iron goals.
Okay.
But Franklin has made it through the first chest over here. Got an adamant for their troubles.
They already have the adamant? Who came with the adamant? The
I
Red Mage
believe
came with
so.
the adamant. Yeah, so they already had that one. But, I mean, that's a good amount of experience, so can't really shake your fist at that one.
Yeah. Now, interestingly to point out here, Thaonar took the black belt, which means they had access to the loot, because the black belt comes with the loot. So Franklin is either going to have to track down that loot, or track down that black belt, which will exist in a tavern somewhere, but it's a matter of finding the tavern to get it.
Right.
Did I happen to catch Bahamut there?
I believe so. And something to note about Bahamut, so both runners get a free tail, so they can promote whenever they desire now that they know where Bahamut is. But Bahamut is not going to give promotion easily, because you have to fight Bahamut.
That's right. That is on, isn't it? I did see that when I was perusing through the flags.
Alright, Franklin picked up that canoe. Okay.
That's a nice item. That gives us another sphere of progression.
Absolutely.
Which is something interesting to talk about with these flags. So, like, normally FFR doesn't necessarily have spheres of progression, but when your key items are as they are, with them being loose and in marked boxes, and then we have, if I can find it, it's set to chaotic, which is going to most likely place everything early, but it can place things out of the sphere 0 location. And where the way you want to try to hunt through the seed is to look through the items that you were given on the sphere 0, or whatever you got on sphere 0. Let's say we unlock the canoe, it's the only thing we unlock. We can check through all the entrances that were open to us at the start, and then check what entrances were unlocked via the canoe. And you kind of want to progress that way, so that if it gives you access to the ship, then the canal, you know that anything that's accessible to that will eventually lead to your floater. Now, I have run these seeds where it gives you a boat, canoe, canal, ship, airship, all in the same, right in the get-go, out of the first entrance. I mean, it's nice because you don't have to go hunting for anything, so long as it's also giving you the key, the loot, and the only other two items that are necessarily required, which would be the rod and the cube.
Oh, okay. And I believe Thaonar picked up one of those ruse knives out of Provoca.
That is a nice item to have.
So, vanilla towns are on.
Yes.
But everything else, all the other entrances are shuffled.
Correct.
Okay. Alright, Franken looking like they're trying to get through that ice giant pack, or frost giant pack.
And I have missed now twice what was in tavern shops.
The Oxio. Tavern shop, I believe I saw a black mage.
Okay.
I want to say it was Franklin that was looking at a black mage.
Okay. Alright, so we're picking up these nuke sticks now. Yeah, so the seed's about to just break wide open for them.
Yes, so any potential tomfoolery with spell levels solved.
Yep, no, you're walking around with 4 nuke casters at this point. It's perfectly fine. So that heal 3 plus 5 sword there kind of looks like it was the Vorpal, but it was very cheap.
So Franklin has a white mage, and the white mages have a curse of no heal 3.
Oh, that's a bummer.
Can the white mage still use that heal 3 weapon?
I believe so. Because as far as I understand it, the malices only affect what spells you're able to learn. The spell being attached to an item should not prevent you from being able to use that weapon to cast that spell. I could be wrong, but I've never encountered it myself, so I guess we'll find out.
Because if so, like, that just solved the white mage's curse that even mattered. So.
Yep. Yeah, that is a nice thing to point out there.
Right. So Franklin taking out those pirates.
Yep, I think Thaonar was over here previously picking up that crown. I saw we've got an Oxiel out of a chest and that first entrance. The bottle? I think the bottle was also an item that was picked up as well.
Yes.
So the runner's kind of going back and forth between these first 3 entrances, essentially. There is open progression, but it's not extended open, so it kind of confines us to this area, which it's good to, like I was saying earlier with the sphere progression, to check these entrances first to make sure that they don't have your airship, your loot, your key, something important to you, you know?
Sure. And I mean, like, there's quite a few chests that are marked in there. And I mean, like, that's going to be gold, that's going to be experience, that's going to be key items, you know? So at that point, I think we'll see, we'll probably see these 2 runners get through those chests and then really potentially diverge.
Yeah, it's possible. So far, we've only seen Canoe as a stage of progression to other entrances, which will push us between the ice cave entrance, the volcano entrance, and the 1 item check in Crescent Lake. I don't think we have any other Northern Docks and Bahamut Cardia Dock. You know, the only other overworld edits. So the Canoe is not going to open up anything more than just standard entrances. Oh, I suppose it does Northwest Castle, Marsh Cave, and Elfland Castle as well. So yeah, there could be quite a bit of divergence.
Yeah, depending on what direction you go around the Inner Sea, could really lead to some pretty big differences in these runs.
Oh, absolutely. Have either runner made their way to the Dwarf Cave entrance yet? Or
not that I've noticed, no.
Okay. Because I know we've seen Bahamut, we've seen 2 of the Cardias, but I don't believe that we've seen that 4th entrance over here.
No, I don't believe we have yet. They've just been bouncing around these few.
That makes sense. I mean,
out.
you want to verify that, you know, magic at level 2 isn't anything that you really want to stop and get. But we did see Cure 4 in there, which is a pretty nice pickup for that white mage. And I believe being level 2, the red mage will learn it as well.
All right, looks like Franklin is making the jump to talk to Bahamut. Or do we have the Horde?
We do have the Horde on. Yep.
Okay.
Oh,
I mean, with those nuke swords, I mean, okay.
Yep, and we're going to use the nuke stick. I mean, it's the blue D. It makes sense. The blue D has quite a bit of HP, and it's going to be hard to hit, especially at this stage. That gives us access to all these chests back here. Also just gives us a chunk of experience.
And Thaonar just picked up that ruby. And looks like we're about to see what is in Dwarf Cave.
Oh.
Okay.
That is an important entrance to find.
Yeah, no. Knowing where this is... I mean, it's required. So, here we are.
Yeah, and to answer your question in chat, is that a nuke sword? That absolutely was a nuke sword. 3,000 gold in the Canaria shops gives these...
I mean, realistically, 3,000 for a nuke sword, that's affordable.
I mean, I've seen them for, as low as 2 gold, so...
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, and there's our ship coming out of Temple of Fiends.
Okay. That
complicates things. I mean, with the entrance shuffle, I would imagine that the runners are going to prioritize whatever entrances are closest, and then just radiate out from there.
Yeah, I would assume so. It makes the most sense. We see Sarda here. Is Sarda going to give us anything useful?
Is that a gold -2 bracelet?
That's not the worst thing Sarda's given out.
Yeah.
At least it's something that, one of our mages can equip and feel a little safer than they were before.
Alright, and Thaonar goes to Elfland. I didn't see anything super useful in that shop.
Yeah, going through it very quickly, it's hard to catch everything that's going on.
Zap helmet? Okay. I mean...
Looks like Franklin is gonna... Oh, Franklin did take on Bahamut. I missed that.
Yeah. Those nuke swords, I mean, they're just... They're gonna tear through stuff.
Oh, it's not a swole Bahamut, is it? It's just a normal Bahamut.
Yeah, just a normal Bahamut.
Oh, I was hoping for a real fight there. Where's my nuclears? Where's my poison damage?
Alright, and Franklin is getting access to a lot of locations right now through that Bahamut's horde.
Yeah, we did see 2 of those Cardias already, which, I mean, it's cool, but having access to all 13 chests in one room definitely makes it a lot easier to acquire everything. Plus, then you can verify that you have completely cleared out the Cardias, and whenever you find that 3rd Cardia, you can just forget about it.
Alright.
Oh no. Did we just delete something on accident? No, maybe we moved things.
I think we just moved things.
Okay.
I hope we just... Well, we only have 3 nuke swords.
I don't think Thaonar bought a 4th one.
Okay.
Using that thief as a ruse caster, essentially to take any of the hits and just not die.
Sure.
Oh, Titan's East.
Right.
So this is an interesting entrance here with the entrance shuffle. This wormhole could take you to a couple different locations across the map, and it could lead to progression. So this takes us to Ice Cave, which is nice.
I mean, we could have gotten there.
Yeah, we don't have to walk to Ice Cave now.
Yeah. So, like, if you wanted to take a dip into Volcano from there, I guess.
Yeah, you could, but we already have access to the ship and the canoe.
Right.
So It's nice because Ice Cave is probably the further of the two entrances to check. Volcano is not that difficult, especially if you're going to go and check Crescent Lake, and then you can check Volcano directly afterwards.
Right. And Franklin got a free ruse knife from Toph.
I believe this was our ship chest in Toph here.
Yes.
Okay.
Alright, and Thaonar is going through the Ice Cave loop. Checking a marked chest there.
So it doesn't look like Franklin was able to pick up anything extraordinary that Thaonar didn't have access to. Since Franklin did check all the chests behind Bahamut, and Thaonar has only checked the 2 of the Cardia, so there's 3 of those chests that they haven't checked yet, but there wasn't anything, any kind of key item at least out of it.
Right. Nothing that's going to provide huge amount of advantage as the runners go.
Right.
Alright, Franklin coming down to Marsh and finds the Ice Cave.
So far we've only seen one marked box here in ice.
Yeah, nothing in the 6-pack here.
Oh, but a
except
ribbon.
a ribbon. Alright. And
a fast
a
sword.
fast, yeah.
I believe that's the saber sword.
Okay.
Yep, 25 across the board.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can remember that's what that one is.
Right.
Yeah, these nuke sticks.
Well, that and that ribbon really made that 6-pack room definitely relevant. So
absolutely, having that fast on a caster item, not having to worry about if it is it level 7, level 8, somewhere where I can't access without promoting. Because if I had to guess, Thaonar is going to be taking the black belt, since we did pass on the Bahamut promotion there early.
Right.
Now it could have just been maybe we didn't feel we were completely ready to take on Bahamut at that point in time, but starting out with a black belt and it just kind of makes me think that we're going to go ahead and stick with the black belt strats where we don't want to promote because we rely on the MDef bonuses the black belt has versus what its promoted class the master has.
Sure. Now, when you take a recruit from the taverns, they assume the level of the character that they're replacing?
Yes. So the way that it works is it will replace the class, revert the levels down to level 1. It will then apply promotion if promotion is granted, and then it will level to the experience level that was already acquired by that class. Now, if for whatever reason that class comes with an experience multiplier, they'll get the experience in addition to it. So on the seeds, on the flags in the seed, there's a bar where you can adjust experience per class. So if you set that to 2 times for the black belt, you start with a fighter, recruit a black belt over it. That black belt will get twice the experience.
Okay. So here's something interesting. Thaonar came out of the ice cave and went through the river to Volcano and found Waterfall. So gonna get this spike tile of a lot of worms.
This is a nice spike tile to find when you have 3 nuke sticks in tow.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is a massive amount of experience.
Yeah.
The only thing that does suck is that we found it so early. We don't have the orbs, and still giving us 4,000 experience a pop. But
Right.
if I remember right, the experience is scaled via orb. Yes. 50% per orb.
Okay.
Oh, a Harm 4 shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I guess.
We don't have a white mage.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, you could find one.
We could.
But
I
would
still
that
prefer
be
the
worth?
nuke sticks.
Yeah. I mean, like, Harm 4 is all great and good, but we've got nuke swords, and they're 3K. Like, and you know where they are. So, in terms of sweepers, I think we're set.
Oh, absolutely. Missed this before, but we picking up Wall in Elfland, level 4 magic. It is learnable by that red mage that Thaonar has. And that's where Fast was as well. So we do have Fast, so that Fast on a stick, not necessarily relevant, but it is nice to have. We can put that on our melee class for whenever we go
Right.
through Topher as a just in case things go bad, we
Sure.
have that free cast of Fast. Mage on a stick is always a fun thing.
Oh, it's pretty fascinating how it potentially upsets any apprehension of like what classes to take. Like any curses that any of the mages have in terms of what spells they can use. I mean, we have found the tools to run this seed, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
And it doesn't look like the seed is being incredibly rude yet.
No, not quite yet. Did see that we got a canal out of that chest in Waterfall. So that'll
Okay.
give Thaonar access to the open seas. Gives us access to the entrance on Bahamut's Island. It'll give us entrance to... Since we have the Oxia, we can go through Onrak's dungeon entrance and check that out. We also have the Chime, so we can check out Mirage. And then we also have the Earth Cave area. So we have quite a few more
Okay.
checks to check out here.
So past that, it would be Gaia, Lefeinian, and other Cardia Isles.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, in that case, could this be a potential floaterless seed?
It could potentially be that, yes. Ribbons for sale in Crescent
wow.
Lake for 17,000.
Okay, good to know.
Always love
Gonna-
purchasable ribbons.
Gonna need to do a little bit more fundraising, but I imagine we'll get there.
Yeah, it looks like we're looking for things that we can sell here to give us some of the extra cash to get a hold of those ribbons. But those are definitely a nice thing to come across.
Absolutely. Alright. So let's see what the Circle of Sages has for us today. Oh,
97
A whole-
gold, and
oh,
Lucan
97.
Lucan gets to take it at the knee.
Yep.
That's what you get for giving me petty change.
Alright, looks like Thaonar is going back to the ice cave entrance to warp back to... Oh gosh, where was Titans?
We were at Elfland, I believe.
Okay.
I don't think I would have walked that direction. We have that access between Elfland and Crescent here that we could have canoed across, but also maybe not entirely sure what entrance did we walk into to get to this point, which is completely viable. Especially if you're not taking notes on entrances, it's easy to forget where did I come from whenever I walk through Titan's Tunnel.
Right. Well, those don't look like worms.
Oh no, they're tasty sandwiches. I believe
I saw Thaonar got a lamp something from one of the royals. Lamp plus 3 sword?
Looks like it's a dragon sword. It did extra damage to dragons. Did the princess give us anything useful?
I did not catch what the princess gave us.
Okay. I don't see anything extra lit up on their trackers. So
yeah.
I'm assuming not. Ooh, Marsh Cave. This is about 12 boxes to check out here. We don't have the key, however, so we will be orphaning 3 of these boxes at the bottom. Luckily for Thaonar, all we need is the key at this point. Potentially, we need the floater to get access to our other 3. Our all 4. We haven't seen a single one yet. Our Fiend dungeons, which are eluding us so far. So if
they are.
If that loot ends up being at the bottom of Marsh Cave, that could potentially swing in favor for Thaonar here. Seeing as they came with the loot, and Franklin is going to have to hunt that down.
Right. Now, would it be a potential thing for, let's say Franklin is all but go mode and is just missing that loot? Could they drop a character to pick up a black belt to get the loot and just use the black belt as, I don't know, nuke sword caster?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And Franklin came with a fighter rainbow party, fighter red mage, white mage, black mage party. So they do have the option to go ahead and drop whichever mage they don't feel is as useful. If they find that black belt and decide, okay, this is my go mode item, I'm going to go ahead and take that. And then, as you said, essentially use it as a utility class, as someone to just cast ruse and take the hits.
Right.
Yeah, it's 100% a viable strat.
And I mean, with the caster gear, it seems the relevance of the mage classes in general are kind of lessened.
Oh, absolutely. If we found heal 3, nuke, fast. I don't believe we've seen temper yet, but we've seen ruse. So like saber was another item I saw someone had. So like we have a lot of the essential items we want on gear items.
Yeah, one thing that we have not seen yet though, and it's kind of concerning, is life.
You know what? I don't think I've seen it in a shop either. Did we? I'm trying to think if Thaonar popped into Thaonar or Franklin. If either one of them popped into Melmond, I don't think that they did.
Franklin
taking Thaonar taking an interesting loop around Earth Cave there.
Yeah,
I appreciate that.
Kip Mark is pointing out in chat that the king gave soft and Sarah gave lamp plus 3.
They just want to make sure that you are protected from all the status ailments.
Oh, and do we have a vanilla ordeals?
Womp womp womp. Ordeals at Ordeals. Who could have guessed that one was going to come home? It always feels like it's either Ordeals or it's Temple of Fiends, and I don't know.
Have we seen? We haven't seen warp either.
No, but Franklin did pick up exit out of Crescent Lake there, which
Okay.
Thaonar did not have access to because it's in a white locked spot. The red mage
Okay.
cannot learn it.
Interesting.
Pillar 4? Did we get a pillar 4?
I think we. Oh. I think we did. I think we did.
We did, but we were getting bounced back.
Yeah. Oh, so many options.
So many different ways to go.
This maze is rude. Goodness. All right, Franklin picking up that rod.
Which is a womp item for them because they brought the fighter along. The fighter came with a rod.
Oh, right.
But you got to be thinking that your opponent probably came with that too. That's a key item.
Right.
So probably not feeling too terrible about that just yet. Ooh, that is Sea Shrine. And that was in the Bahamut's hole.
Okay.
That is their first look at a fiend.
What are our fiends skilled at tonight?
Franklin doing a loop around the Sharknado floor. We're checking rooms. We're only looking for marked boxes at this point. We've decided that we have the gear that we want. The fighter does not have access to it. I was gonna say we picked up the Vorpal at some point, but the fighter won't have access to it because of the Thief's Sword malice.
Oh, right.
So gonna have to rely on picking up a thief at some point to convert to a ninja, which there was some pre-race discussion about it. The thief, the minus 10 hit percent, and the Massacre's poison kind of feels bad, but if we're using a Vorpal plus 5, that doesn't feel as terrible, especially if we can get a hold of Temper.
Sure.
Which I think we did see at some point, but I don't recall where it was at.
I do not recall seeing it yet, but I could be wrong.
I guess I could look at my cheat sheet. Temper's at level 3, so we do have access to that.
Yeah.
And we found fast in the shop and also on an item. So yeah, picking up that thief to replace that fighter to use that Vorpal, not the worst thing in the world. Astos giving us a chunk of change, but Thaonar deciding we don't feel like talking to Astos today.
Yeah. 4,000 gold.
It's not really worth at this point in time.
Sure.
Gonna give us a look at Onrak dungeon entrance, which is Elfland.
Okay.
We do have an herb, so we can check this NPC.
We do have an herb. And Franklin takes out Kraken, lights their water orb, and gets that XP bonus.
And Franklin did find the worm tile as well, so knows where that juicy grind tile is at. It is a little far inside of Waterfall, but it can be used as a party-wide grind. As you saw, it gave 4,000 experience for 4 grubs and a full party. Multiply that by 200, we're going to be looking at almost 9k a pop per fight.
Sure.
That's a pretty fast grind.
Yeah.
Okay, so Onrak didn't have anything useful for us. The elf gave us a sword. And so far, we're not finding any marked chests over here in Sea Shrine. So this kind of feels like our progression is going to end up here in Mirage Tower, where we see Thaonar walking right now.
Okay.
Which is Volcano.
All right. Well, that's a good amount of boxes and another fiend.
Yep, we're going to have to go check those hairpins. Feels bad, but it's a lot safer to go check them than miss a chest.
Sure. Absolutely. All right, Franklin gonna find out the news that Ordeals is indeed an ordeal.
Oh, here's 3 marked boxes. This could
Okay.
potentially have our key, our loot, and our floater. I think the only other... Well, there's a floater. Perfect.
Perfect.
I think slab might be the only other key item that we started with that we have not found yet.
And there we go.
Well, speak it into existence. Possibly the
Absolutely.
crystal.
Please be the crystal in the third one.
So Franklin does have the crystal, but Franklin came with the crystal with that white mage.
Right.
And we haven't seen Matoya.
We haven't seen Matoya.
Oh, that okay. I was like waiting in suspense. That was not the tile I thought it was. I didn't realize it was the tile and not the box.
Right. Same.
Oh, green dragon's in the box though. That's another
Okay.
bit of juicy experience to find.
And they go down just like everything else to a few microwaves to the face.
Oh, TNT. That was an item I wasn't thinking of.
Yeah.
I think my brain was on no overworld for some reason, where TNT doesn't really provide you a whole lot aside from a path through. But there is one more marked box up here in the hairpin chest.
Okay.
We checked the short pins. Now we're going to check the hairpin. We have the Agama floor and 1 chest on Carrie's floor left in here. But we did pick up that floater, so we do have the access now to Sarda, Titans West, and the remaining Cardias we haven't seen. We're gonna stumble across these fiends at one point here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, we found 2 of them, and there's the loot.
Wow.
So, I mean, Thaonar already had it because of that black belt, but
I don't think that's going to be a location that Franklin is going to skip over.
right, it really equalizes finding the loot. So,
Right.
yeah, agreed.
So now it's going to be down to locating that key.
Yes, it will. And Franklin finding Elf Castle and getting the sad news
Alet plus
of getting
3.
an Alet sword.
Yeah.
All right, Thaonar getting into the air. 40 minutes, 42 seconds.
Popping the bottle, so we're going to take a visit to our lovely fairy we have back here.
All right, and gonna not take a look at magic.
If I had to guess, Thaonar is going with the idea that we are not promoting.
Okay.
We found Fast Temper. We had Cure 4 magic. We had found Heal 3 on a stick. We've pretty much found what we need. We have the nuke on a stick as well. So, like, we have the tools to complete this seed. So, we are going to check Cardia's first, it looks like.
There's quite a few entrances, so that makes sense. Playing that proximity. It wasn't really a long flight. A lot of things that you could pick up here.
Mm-hmm. Now, it's going to come down to, does Thaonar remember to go back to Volcano at some point?
Yeah.
We are, at some point, going to have to take on that carry. But both of the dwarves gave us nothing useful. Instant reset out. Oh.
Oh, okay.
It's another Fiend dungeon.
And we have the cube, so... Okay.
Yep, so we can go ahead and clear this out as well.
Oh, none of those are marked. Oof.
We're going to open a few of them anyway, just because we're here. Get a bit of chunk of change out of it for our efforts.
Yeah.
I know what we were looking for, but we'll take it.
I'm still intrigued to see where that life spell ended up for Franklin. Because life 1 is usable in battle, so like pretty relevant to be able to use your seeds to your advantage. Alright, Thaonar still using those nuke swords. Makes sense.
Oh!
And getting their key. Okay.
That is go mode for Thaonar.
It is. We just need to find Earth Cave?
Yep, I believe that's the only... Yes, that is the only entrance we have left. We only have 3 entrances to go, and according to my tracker I've got going on over here, the third Cardia, Matoya's, and Earth Cave are the 3 entrances we have not dived in, not seen, and we have not been to Cardia Grass, Sarda, and Titan's West. So one of those 3 entrances is going to hold our final bit of the puzzle to get us through the seed.
Oh, I guess Sarda's entrance and Titan's West would technically be floater locked.
Correct.
I would forget that so very easily.
That is definitely something that often gets missed over on entrance floor shuffle, or on entrance shuffle even. So,
yeah, I would guarantee you that I would forget that in a race situation.
Oh, I absolutely have, until I got down to a point where, what did I forget? What am I missing? And I just stare at my tracker for a length of time and realize you're stupid. Go look at Sarda. That's just how it goes for me.
Alright, so Franklin clearing out the Agama floor. Not finding much at all.
Now, I think we've found... Unless we didn't find a crystal in a box, which is the only item I'm unsure about, I think we have found all of our marked boxes at this point.
Okay.
At least us as the viewers.
Right. Alright, so we're getting a look at Carrie and Tia at the same time. And no surprise here, nuke swords.
Dueling nuke sticks. Yep. Interesting, we've thrown out a slow on Thanar's side. It did not take effect, but it could have helped out. Sometimes Tia does hit rather hard. As we see there, 173 damage is half the Thieves' HP pool.
Alright, Carrie is down.
Down for the count, and Tia following quickly behind with Thaonar. So that's 2 orbs to 1 in favor of Franklin at the moment. Thaonar is in the air, does know where one of those other orbs is at.
Alright, and here's Matoya.
Okay, so our Earth Cave entrance is down hiding with Sarda. Earth Cave on the Melman continent.
Okay.
Thaonar did a little pause there for a moment, trying to remember what entrances have we not seen, and immediately flies to Sarda.
Yeah. And it's Titan's West.
It's that useless cardio, yep.
Yep.
Last entrance, we find our final fiend. I don't think... No, I think Thaonar would have found Sea Shrine. I think we were in that general area at some point.
Yeah.
We were there with the boat when we went to check Onrak. I think we checked that entrance out and decided we're not ready to fight Kraken just yet.
Right.
Okay, and so Franklin, taking a different route when getting in the air, immediately finds Earth Cave.
Oh, okay.
So now Thaonar being in go mode, knowing that we don't have to check all these boxes, is going to put them a little further ahead than Franklin here. Franklin's going to be checking all these boxes, looking for that key, which is always a feels bad moment because it turns into we didn't locate the right entrance to find our final key item to hit go mode.
Right, and it's a feel bad because it's a required dungeon.
Yep.
And like you could celebrate the fact that you just found one of the required dungeons, but not having that key like makes this dungeon significantly longer.
Yes, because we're gonna have to peek in every single one of these rooms, take fights we don't want to take, just to try to find that key. And if I'm gonna check real quick, but I don't think. Yeah, no, they did not turn on Thief lockpicking, which could have made a little Hail Mary play at the end. Okay, let's set Thief lockpicking to 22, and if we can't find the key, but we have go mode otherwise, we'll just power up that Thief, or pick it up from the tavern and power it up to hit our go mode, but not the case tonight. Okay, so Thaonar taking down the Lich. Franklin coming up on the vampire floor here, not too far behind.
Yeah, making it a pretty quick run. I mean, we don't have random encounters on, so still stings a bit having to check all the doors, but could be worse.
Oh, it could be a lot worse. We could be running into burbs with poison stone and just be hating our lives right now.
Indeed. And I mean, from what I have been observing, Franklin is pretty good at routing through these floors pretty effectively.
Oh, absolutely. Definitely taking very good step routing throughout the entire course of the seed. Step routing through dungeons is definitely something that you don't think about, but it will actually improve your ability to run seeds faster.
Sure.
By quite a big number, actually. If you're just walking around, more so in a seed that has encounters, not having encounters, it's not really as important. It can be important because you are saving frames, but if you have encounters, you can skip over some encounters by walking across the bottoms of rooms, walking in front of doors, making sure that you're taking the least amount of steps through a dungeon as possible. Walking across lava tiles, even. Lava tiles don't increase the step counter, so that's another way where you can just keep moving along and not increase that, which makes Volcano typically one of the faster dungeons. Alright, so it looks like Thaonar is looking at spike tiles here, just to kind of get an idea of what we're looking at. Finds Kareebs with slow, which is just annoying.
Yeah.
But Nuke takes them down, while Franklin is visiting our hidden Hooray Dwarf. In case y'all didn't know, there is a dwarf in that bottom right room who will also say hooray to you.
Really?
Yeah. You wouldn't think to go inside that room unless chests were shuffled.
Yeah.
Which is definitely, I think, a way a lot of people find out that some NPCs are in random places.
Huh. Alright, Thaonar taking down their carry.
Franklin found Sky Palace as well. So
Okay.
we'll get their key here fairly shortly. Thaonar just has to remember where Sea Shrine is at. but then also is going to have to do a bit of a grind to get that black belt to a level that we want.
Yeah.
Unless we decide, well, we are going to promote, it looks like. Which is what I was just about to say. Unless we decide we want to switch over to the fighter.
Right.
Which, I mean, not necessarily have to switch to the fighter. We have that Vorpal +5, and we have the tools to take this ninja to great lengths with it. So maybe that is what we are leaning on. And Franklin did find their key, which is very good. Not wanting to skip over rooms like that in a seed like this, where your key item could just be anywhere.
Yeah.
It has definitely cost runners races in the past. Like I said, these flags were based off of the Derby flags for this week, which were based off of the flags for SGL Live from this previous year, which were also based off of Fall League Week 3 of this previous year. These flags have been around for quite a bit. They've seen the...
I need to point out real quick that Franklin just broke my brain and went left down in the Sky Maze.
I saw nothing wrong with it. The only thing I saw wrong with it was that we didn't go right down right.
However you get there, you get there.
Lately, I've been... whichever way my controller takes me.
I do like seeing every once in a while in a race the procedurally generated Sky Maze. I like that one.
Sky Maze is so fun.
I think that's fantastic.
It's hilarious whenever you warp in and you can see your stairs. You just can't get to them. You have to find your way through the maze to get there. That is the best.
Yeah, I really like seeing that one used.
So it does look like Thaonar is going to be leaning into this ninja. We're going to take these dragon fights because they're essentially free. We have a katana. We picked up a katana at some point.
Ooh.
That's probably better than that Vorpal. I'm going to have to try and take a closer look at that, but
yeah.
At 54 minutes and 45 seconds, Franklin is into Topher. We are going to check some of these boxes here just in case something decent lands on it.
Oh, so we have short Topher.
We do indeed have short Topher.
Okay.
How does this differ from the Duck Derby? That's a good question. So the Duck Derby would have alternate FF1 bosses, which here you see just our generic Lich, Carry, Kraken, and Tia. That was something that was changed by the runners to make it a little bit easier, a little bit more knowable of what's coming. The other thing that is the bonuses and malices were increased by 1 each. The key items, we do not start with key items for the Derby flags. And I think that was it. I want to say there was one more thing that they adjusted. They increased starting gold. Yeah. So bonuses and malices were taken up a notch for these flags. They were switched to the vanilla bosses, and gold was increased in start. I think those are the main changes. Oh, and Fight Bahamut. Fight Bahamut was not on.
So a few changes then.
Just a few.
Yeah.
Some gentle runners agreements. But meanwhile, Franklin is powering through the Fiend refights here in Short Toph.
Yeah, making real good use of those nuke swords. As you do.
I'm curious if this fighter is swinging anything, or if the fighter is just acting as a nuke caster. Oh, that's right. The mage on the stick, the spells that are on weapons is also something that was added for these flags.
Ah,
that was the other
gotcha.
thing. I knew there was something I was forgetting.
Alright, Kraken 2 is down.
Oh, we have life on that.
Who has what?
Heal plus
Who has
magic
that?
on the fighter,
Oh.
which comes with a life spell and a cure or a heal spell, depending on if it's heal or heal plus, determines which
Very
that is.
good. Okay. I had forgotten that the fighter had that.
I forgot about it too,
Blessing.
until I saw that. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Oh, that red mage also came with fast. I'm looking over the blessings again here to see if there was anything else I missed. So we already came with fast, 2 charges, but still.
Yeah, I guess that makes that fast item a little bit redundant, but
Yeah. All right, so Thaonar taking down Kraken, giving them their final orb.
and they already have the loot and the key, so
Looks like we're gonna take a pit
Nice.
stop in a Canaria, pick up some more heal pots, make sure we're all healed up, good to go. While Franklin is about to pull Chaos here.
all right.
Which
Which,
is-
that's not chaos.
No, these are the double dragons. This is a part of the Derby flags, the double dragons. It's FF1 alt fiends and double dragons. So what
cool.
double dragons is it's essentially it's carry 2 and Tiamat 2, or if you have alternate fiends turned on, whatever fiend lands in carry 2 and Tia 2 spots.
Okay.
It makes the fight a little bit more challenging because you have 2 fiends to deal with, and both of those fiends could lead off with nuke and nuclear. There
Right.
is nothing in the code that prevents both of these fiends from casting nuke on the first turn. I know.
That's potentially scary.
I was gonna say I know because I've been there. I've had a practice seed of these when I was practicing for Fall League, where it was nuke into nuclear, into a nuclear, into a nuke.
Good night.
It was a great time. But it's short Topher, so it makes it a little less painful.
Sure. All right, and now we have both runners in Topher. Thaonar taking on their carry 2.
There's a nuke from Carrie on Franklin's side.
Okay. Oh, we're gonna find out if the heal 3 works on the white mage.
Okay.
It does.
Okay.
Yes.
I thought so, but I've never tested it to know for certain.
I saw Franklin selected, and I was like, "Ooh, ooh, we were talking about that."
We get to find out our answer live on stream.
I love it.
So it looked like that fighter that knight is swinging a saber sword, and that hit takes it out. GG's Franklin with an
GG's.
official race time.gg time of 101.08.
And welcome, Franklin.
Welcome in, GG's.
That was a really fun race. And unlike my practice seed, I did not have to search forever for the key. That was the best.
Yeah, so nuke swords.
Yeah, the nuke swords made it a big rush seed. and it made me tempted to grind on a few of those early tiles that were high XP yielding. But I also knew that because of the nuke sticks, Thaonar would also be going pretty quick, and I could get away with fewer levels, so I kept my grinds to a minimum.
Makes sense. Those nuke swords really opened up some options pretty early on.
Yeah, especially considering the magic that I managed to give you all to start. Rob and Quad X, but if you had access to Harm 4 because you took the White Mage, whereas Thaonar did not.
Did Thaonar take the Black Belt instead?
Yes.
And then didn't switch to the fighter later. Interesting. I had in the back of my head that I kept note of where the fighter and Black Belt recruits were in case I couldn't find the loot. But thankfully I did find it, so I didn't need to go back and forth on that.
Right. Yeah, sometimes trying to remember where you've seen that class at is the worst feeling in the world. So Thaonar, I believe, found a katana, and is what they are swinging with right now.
Yeah, it looks like it.
I think you
I found
saw...
a Vorpal +5, which was the heal 3 stick, I think.
I was going to say, I thought that I had seen that on your side at some point. I don't recall Thaonar picking it up or even coming across it. I know you stared at it for a few minutes trying to decide, what is this? Is this good?
Yeah, the big part of that was confusing me was that the fighter couldn't wield it. So I was like, is this the katana? Did the red mage have a blessing that I don't remember? But it was that thief swords.
Yes. Yep, that thief swords.
Saw really little use.
Yeah, it's really confusing, especially when you pick up like an X-Cal, and in this case, in this seed, you pick up an item where no one can equip it, and you're just like, what? What is happening? In that case, the hurt all helps, but
the free stick.
Yeah, the seeing the high crit and high hit rate is a big indication that it's either the Vorpal or the katana. We're swinging in ice plus... No, we're swinging... Okay, the harm -1. Harm 3 -1, yeah.
This
it gets
is
hit with
scary.
the nuke right away. Oh, no.
Yeah, I was going to say, just leading straight off with the nuke and then the punch. And that will be... No. We're going to go back in. Okay. I thought maybe we were going to call it there.
On that double dragons fight, I was thinking that it was going to be an easy sweep, and then my knight got muted. And then I completely pivoted my strategy.
Yeah, the double dragons is not... It's something that you can kind of prepare for, but if you're only taking one trip through Topher, then you really only have a few turns to see what Carry 2 and Tia 2 do. It definitely throws off your game a little bit, and then you have to remember that there is a chance that both of those fiends can cast Nuke or Nuclear back to back.
Playing with double dragons has made me wonder, how difficult would it be for the devs to add a new alternate chaos option, which is Chaos, Tiamat, and Kraken? Because I want to play that with vanilla scripts turned on.
I'm sure it's probably doable. Someone would need to create a smaller pixel art for Chaos. But I imagine it'd be doable. In case y'all missed it there, Thaonar fed Lich their cake. So happy birthday, Lich.
We both did it.
Aw.
I was really happy when the cake came out first for me, and it didn't end up being a waste of time.
It's one of those things where it's like, I have enough damage. I might as well just meme it up and see what happens, you know?
It ended up saving time, which was great.
Yeah, meanwhile, Kelly is not playing nice.
She never does.
but Thaonar makes it through. All right.
We are through with a ninja and a master. Gonna crank in those heal pots. We do have
Franklin, what was your thought on ordeals? Fourth pillar, maze of just meanness.
I think we lost them.
Maybe. Alright, well, meanwhile, Thaonar is continuing their fight with Kraken 2. Yeah, this Topher is not being very nice to Thaonar. I feel like that you had the concern that Thaonar may have stopped running after that first wipe. Fortunately, with short Topher, I feel like it further incentivizes the runners to like press on and finish out the run.
Oh, it definitely does. It definitely sways you into, okay, I'm gonna try and finish this out. I know I have been there though, where my opponent has finished. I've taken a wipe out of Topher, and I just feel like I'm done for the day. And that's where I thought we were, but no, Thaonar is going to push on. We are through Kraken, still with this, the duo party of the ninja and the master. That master is just chucking out heal 3s while we ruse up.
Yeah, trying to get those defenses up to get ahead on Tia here.
Oh, Tia said you cast fast? No, I cast fast.
That's a concern.
It is, because that gives Tia more chances to crit through the full evasion stacks.
So the crits would go through whatever rusing is happening then?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so we don't want Tia to hit a lot.
Right, exactly. Yeah, crits have that added bonus that a crit is an automatic hit regardless of what your evasion stats are. It will take into account the absorption that you have, whatever defense, and if you have any fog casts, so it can lower it based off of that. But it looks like every time that Tia crits, run is going to take 122 damage, which probably is better than seeing Tornado being cast out, because Tornado does 100 damage to both party members. We're limited on the amount of heals that we can do.
I mean, but we're spamming those heal 3s, so I mean, like, whatever healing is happening to both your characters either way.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And we're through the Tia fight. So now we're back on double dragons here.
But with double our characters.
Yes. Now it's an even matchup, 2v2.
And
you know what level Thaonor's on?
Thaonar just hit 25 on both the ninja and the master. I believe the master was level 21 or 22 whenever they promoted. So Black Belt does still have a decent amount of MDef.
Oof.
Losing that ninja on turn 1, and then
jeez,
the massive hit on the master on turn 2.
That was harsh.
Okay, I'm checking the race stream now. Okay, yeah. Thaonar did go ahead and DNF. Okay. Which is understandable.
That makes sense. I mean, like, that was a really, really mean fight right there.
And we are joined in the booth now by Thaonar. GG's Thaonar.
I wish to register a complaint.
Is that so?
Someone replaced Kelly with Kraken, and I do not approve.
It does feel that way, doesn't it? That was a
Did you say... They hit me for 1,200 damage after a nuke.
that was
No,
just a
bad.
little slap on the face, you know. That wasn't anything serious.
I didn't have a life caster. Why was it Kraken?
Kelly-
Sorry, I fed Lich the cake.
Kelly, I saw the cake feeding. Lich did enjoy her birthday cake.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was mean. That was mean.
This was a perfectly fine, fun seed until Topher.
until those double dragons came out, huh?
Yep. Hey, it wasn't even the double dragons. It was Kelly and Tia 2.
Yep. Well, they were the double
Kelly-
dragons, so
Yeah.
Why does Kelly have nuke? Why does Kelly have nuke? Why does Tia 2 have fast? Who did this? Macklin.
that would be me.
You say
welcome.
my Tophers are mean.
You're welcome.
I mean, to be fair, you all didn't really see a whole lot of adversity for 98% of that seed.
No, that is very
So-
true.
It was coming.
I'm sorry, nuke swords available out of the first town?
Yep. Yeah, those nuke sticks out of the gate. We're both and chat. We're all like, well, this has just turned into the freest seed ever. And then the double dragon said, "Hold on a second. Let's not be too hasty."
Yeah. So, I have to ask, I cannot remember. I know I found a Vorpal. What did I do with it?
Okay.
That's a good
You know,
question.
Mecklin, you did mention during the race, did somebody accidentally throw something away?
I think that's what it was.
Because I know I found it, and I know I set it to a side because I was going to use it later.
Okay.
I was going to have the Vorpal on the Red Mage, the Katana on the Ninja, and the
was a
Master
good
throwing out
Vorpal.
heals and buffs.
I did see you digging around through that inventory trying to find some piece of gear. I wasn't quite sure what you were looking for. If maybe you were just trying to decide what sword is my best bet here. But I
was
do
looking for the
recall
Vorpal.
at some
I was-
point you were moving things around, and then something got deleted, and you stopped and you stared for a second. And then just moved on, like, maybe I didn't do that. Maybe that wasn't the thing that happened. I have done that. I have done that exact thing where instead of hitting the trade, I hit drop, and I'll drop something important, and it's feels bad because with Mage on a stick, you don't know what you're actually deleting. You have an idea, but, like, whoops, what did I just drop?
I had assumed that you dropped a nuke sword because you were carrying 3 after that.
No, I only bought the 3.
Right. So that has to be where it went.
I think
No,
that's where it
I-
was then. I know I do remember
wanted-
Franklin picking it up. And I remember Franklin
Right.
equipping it, but I could not for the life of... Or Franklin was looking at it for a while because it didn't have the fighter or the knight as a caster or as a wielder. And I know they stared at it for a little bit trying to decide, what is this and is this worth it?
I think you accidentally tossed it.
I think that's what ended
Nope,
up happening.
I just fired up the ROM again to check. It's the heal 3.
Oh.
You had it?
It was the heal 3 plus 5.
Was
that
it
I
really?
didn't look
It's
at
perfect
because I
Vorpal.
thought it was something else.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
See, and I thought I saw you throw something out, so maybe it was whatever you threw out was just like a duplicate of something that you didn't need.
Yeah.
It was, I think I threw out a lot of things because it was like I don't need this anymore.
Right. Wow.
Oh, but so I didn't think to look at the heal stick because it's the heal stick.
Right.
No, it doesn't have an icon. It's a named weapon. Oh,
Yep.
so I had it the whole time, guys.
That's one of those things where as the more Mage on a Stick flags that I do, that's the more I'll pay attention to. The items that don't have the indicator of is it a nunchuck, is it a sword, is it a dagger. Those are the ones that I pay more attention to because Those are the ones that can be the Vorpal, that can be the Masa, the Excal, the things that matter. So that's definitely something. It comes from more experience of running these, but that's definitely something you can kind of think about moving forward.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This is 100% on me.
Yeah.
I kept following quest chains just out of habit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that's easy to
Because-
do. The muscle memory
it's just-
definitely takes over sometimes.
Because I'm thinking, okay, it's key items and turn-ins, so I'll go and do that because it might give me something. Pocket change, pocket change, pocket change, pocket change, heal pots, pocket change. Thanks, guys. No, really. Appreciate it.
Astos tried to give you like a chunk of change there, and you turned him away.
Yeah, 4K. Right there.
Yeah, but at that point, I didn't need money. I could have gone back to Corderia and bought 4 mosses now that my brain is fully engaged again.
Oh, there were mosses in Canaria?
There was, I think it was in Corneria. It was an early town that was selling mosses
Huh.
for like 8K.
Oh.
Or because I was
That
looking
would
through,
be.
I made sure to look at it. It's like, that doesn't have an icon. All classes. I got to remember that.
Oh, interesting.
Huh. Yeah, that's definitely not
I
something I
remembered
paid
seeing
attention
the
to.
ribbons for sale. Ribbons
forgot
were
about
for sale in Crescent?
Or maybe Provoca. I don't remember because I don't. No, it must have been Crescent because I bought some for everybody who could wear one. But I thought I had it really good. I'm like, I've got some decent ninja armor. I've got a decent sword. Punch Mage is Punch Novice, but that's fine. You can heal everybody. You two can swing nuke sticks and Bracken Quake. I think I've got this. I don't got this.
Topher was easy if you had Fighter Rainbow.
Yep, I considered grabbing the fighter that I saw, and I went, nope. You know what? I'm not gonna do that because I've got the rod, and I couldn't remember what other blurshings they had off the top of my head. I think they had the thief sword malice. They wouldn't have helped me much anyway.
Yeah,
They had
but
life, and they
they
could
did
equip.
have heal plus magic. Yeah.
That heal plus magic
that's-
definitely came in clutch there, didn't it, Franklin?
Yeah, it did.
That would have been great. Having a life caster would have been fantastic.
And more HP than the Black Pope, possibly.
Right.
True.
Yeah, whenever you had went and used that life spell, Kadab and I were both like, wait, what's happening? Where did that life spell come from? We both ran to the blurstings to see what's going on. And yeah, forgot all about the fighter coming with life magic, so that definitely came in clutch there. And what were you swinging there at the end? If I'm not mistaken, it was the Saber plus 5?
It was the Falcon plus 5, I think, because
Falcon
it was plus
plus 5,
25
okay.
on everything.
Yeah.
Okay. I saw the white damage, but I could never get a good glimpse at the sword that you were actually swinging.
Yeah, I had that for a while. I was swinging that for a while. Thief with a falcon, 3 nuke sticks. I think I'm good.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh boy, that was a lot of fun. There was a lot of this is easy. I could just go to do the thing and pick the thing, and then ordeals takes 20 minutes because ordeals.
Yeah, that was a very silly ordeals maze.
Yeah,
It was great.
ordeals being ordeals.
On a seed with no warp.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh no, warp existed. You just couldn't learn it.
Yeah, so on a seed with no warp. It wasn't in the first 4 levels.
It was
Doesn't
no,
exist.
it was level 7, and I'm assuming that's not the Gaia location. That's the on-rack location, which makes it unlearnable for that black mage.
Well, the thing is, the black mage had the no warp malice.
Oh. No,
Did
it doesn't.
I could have sworn it did.
No ice 3 and no pro ring.
Oh crap! I could have sworn somebody did. See, now I'm getting seed bleed.
I was gonna say I don't remember seeing a no warp. I remember seeing the no heal 3 because we talked about that because we weren't sure
Yeah.
if the white mage was going to be able to use heal 3 because it was a caster item, which I thought we would be able to, but I've never actually tried. So we learned tonight. So thank you, Franklin, for that.
Yeah, I was very excited to have that solved.
Oh. Yeah, this was a lot of fun. Enjoy being gold.
Oh yeah,
yeah, right. I do become gold.
This does bump Franklin up into a gold bracket for Lefeinian ladder.
Is it gold or you mid silver?
I was in silver and now I go up to gold.
Yeah. So you go up to gold and I go back to cloth where I belong. Everyone wins.
I look forward to doing the Lefeinian League next season with you, and hopefully both of us getting a bit higher than we did this time with juggling Duck Derby with the league.
Yeah, that would be a thing. I'm looking forward to it, and maybe I'll land in copper. Aim, keep it little baby steps, little flappy feet steps.
Maybe we can encourage more of the Ducks to join, and then we have more people a challenge to get into copper.
Absolutely. Yeah, Ducks, come on in. The water's fine. It's weird. It will push you. It will break your brain. But you will learn faster doing this dumb stuff.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I speak from experience.
It was really interesting to see how something as chaotic as having 3 blessings and 2 curses can be really balanced with the caster item stuff.
Yeah.
Like it really complicated the seed to, I don't know, the logic just shifts with these different flag sets and how they meld together. It was really neat to see.
Yeah, and that's another thing for all you Ducks out there who think something might be interesting. Try mixing the thing you find interesting with other flag sets and see what happens. You get stuff like this.
Yeah, I 100% support that. Take something that you enjoy, and some of these flags that maybe you haven't tried out yet. Just turn 1 or 2 of them on and play the seed that a flags that you enjoy, and you might find there are more flags out there that you will enjoy.
Yeah, and you never know how it's going to interact and take a flag set that you really don't like, but you add this one flag and suddenly it's a blast.
Yep. Mage on a stick.
Mage on a stick.
100% mage on a stick.
I think my favorite part of these flag sets, or this one in particular, is that it's all loose, which is already fun. But out of all the all-loose flag sets, the actual searching through chests part is as fast as it could possibly be because they're all marked, and because there's no encounters. So you could just zoom around a dungeon and not even have to go inside of the rooms, just peek in the doorway and see if there's an item there. So that was interesting.
It's really helpful for, rather than, okay, I know I have to go to each of these rooms and it's going to take this many seconds to open the chest. It's just peek in, do you see an X? No, move on. Or in the early game, peek in, grab the 2 nearest the door for money and maybe an item, and then bounce.
Yeah, it makes TFC feel a lot like a TFC and a lot more like a That Fantastic chest.
Right? I didn't even check mermaids, I realize now. I didn't need to.
I did.
I had everything.
I'd say Franklin checked it. It was pretty empty.
If you go to Bubbles' room, you can see what the incentive room has, so you don't have to go all the way around unless there's a key item.
Yep. That's a great shortcut for looking for trap chest. I recommend it for anybody doing shard hunt. But
yeah, and as a bonus, of course, you get to carbonate bubbles.
Of course. I seriously considered it, but by that point, I had realized I was in total go mode, I was probably behind. Time to step on the gas. I think it was going up sky at that point, and I realized, wait, I need to stop looting. I literally have everything. Let's just go nuke a dragon.
I guess that means you found the key before I did.
Yeah.
Where was the key?
He
He
was in Sky.
Yeah.
Right.
Franklin.
He was in greater than less than.
Yeah, because
Yeah,
Thaonar,
yeah,
you had dived through. You did the armory floor on Volcano, and then dipped out and went in to check other entrances. And then Franklin had taken a different path from the airship than you did, and ended up finding Earth first, and dove through and looked through all of the rooms in Earth Cave, and then proceeded to find the things that you had found first. So there's a little back and forth there, a little bit of different routing style.
I went autopilot. I have key items to turn in. Let's go do this. I
And
should not have done that.
I mean,
should
it
not
makes
have set
sense.
foot in Gaia.
The NPCs can have an item in these flags, so it's a possibility that bottle would have turned into your key.
There was a chance, but given how many chests there were versus the 3 NPC turn-ins I had, really not a good play.
I wouldn't say it wasn't a good play. It was a play that you made, and it was based off of, okay, I have these key items at this area. This entrance is right here next to where I'm at. Let's just go ahead and do that. Which, doing local entrance checks, local item checks, is probably the best way to go about it. You want to really limit your time flying across the map to save time. So, no, I definitely think it makes sense what you did there.
I will take the win for autopilot brain. As the rest of my brain goes, okay, where do I need to go? Where have I just opened up? What entrances? Let me look at my list as I hold down on the D-pad to get to Gaia, because I know I could just do that.
One of the biggest things I've gone better recently is using the autopilot brain to my advantage. Because if you can do running around autopilot, then it means that you can start strategizing about what you're going to do next without needing to think about the specific step routing. But if you're on autopilot, it's really easy to forget to actually utilize that time.
Yes, yeah. It's a thing I will do. Anybody who's tuned into my solo streams when I'm running just like a weekly or an async seed, I will babble to myself constantly until the midpoint, and then pick up at the end where I'm like, okay, now I need to think things through again. As I'm running around, I'm talking to myself. I'd love for you guys to be able to hear it, but it's a race. We can't do that. I get it.
I will say, if anybody is interested in a good time, go check out Thaonar streams at Game Cuddle on Twitch. I have visited Thaonar streams quite often, and I can honestly say it is the best hour or so of entertainment that I can find on the internet. So
I appreciate that. I'm just a goofy guy. I try to make things goofy while I do stuff. Apparently it works out.
It does.
I'll take the win.
Which async were you doing when I dropped in with emote-only chat and emoted a bunch while I watched?
Oh, I can't remember. That was a couple weeks ago.
I can't remember if it was Lefeinian League, Duck Boot Camp related, or other, but that was fun.
Yeah, if it was emote only, it was a race. Unless
Yeah,
I
I
forgot
think
to
it
turn
was
emote only off. Because I
It
did
was
that.
probably Lefeinian League async.
Yeah. That's
Which is a good point. In the Lefeinian League, you should join because most of the races are asynchronous and flexible. And then for the challenges, you don't even have to participate in challenges if you don't want to, but if you do, you only have to schedule the time with one person.
or 2 or 3 or 4, depending on if you want a group race or if you just want to do a 1v1, you know. Which we've done a few group races so far. Speaking of which, Lefeinian League is coming to an end here soon. We have one more game running right now, and then Monday will be our final game before the scoreboard is finalized, and we come down to what our championship matches will turn out to be. So stay tuned for potentially more Lefeinian Ladders challenge matches coming up here. Or not challenges, championship matches coming up soon. Let's go ahead and start our final thoughts. Franklin, you are our winner tonight. Let's go ahead and start with you.
Oh wait, I was muted.
I was like, Franklin? It's okay, go ahead.
I love how nobody said anything.
We were collecting our thoughts. But yeah, anyway, go ahead, Franklin, with your final thoughts for tonight.
It was a fun flag set, a fun seed, and a fun competitor. All of you ducks should join the Lefeinian League. It is great, especially those of you that are about to graduate. And I look forward to hanging out in silver for the remaining duration of the league, hopefully.
All right, Thaonar, any final thoughts for tonight?
Are you muted?
Here.
I think
I should not be muted.
Yep, there we go.
there we go.
I had to. Apparently, I had to. Okay, apparently, mute touch is going on outside of the seed now, so we should wrap this up. But yeah,
I thought you were trolling us.
no, I really wasn't. I shifted my headset and it popped halfway out of the USB.
I thought the troll was happening as well, honestly.
Oh, but no, absolutely. Like Franklin said, if you're a duck, come on, join in. It's great. The only person that suffers is the guy running it. If you're not a duck, come try it out anyway. You don't have to be part of it to run the seeds. We post them up in the Discord, and you can run it on your own time just to see what it would be like. It's great. There's no harm. All it costs you is some time that you were going to spend playing the game anyway.
I like to hear it. I like to hear the promotion of Lefeinian Ladder from the both of you upcoming ducks here. Both of you are about to potentially clip your wings here. We'll see.
Oh no.
No, we don't think
I
so.
am.
Franklin
Thaonar
is
is going through the rally derby system at least one more time.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, I think that both of you are doing a fantastic job. I forgot what I was going to say there. So let's move on to final thoughts from Catnip while I try and collect my own thoughts.
Sure. Yeah, so first, thanks Thaonar and Franklin for letting us watch and talk about your run. It was a lot of fun to watch. Very impressive. Also, thank you for highlighting like the different options that we have with the randomizer. I think it's really neat to interact with the randomizer on a more basic level, but also to understand how evolved and interesting it can be. So this was a really cool showcase of showing that off. But other than that, Macklin, been a pleasure sitting here talking with you.
Yeah, same for you. I appreciate you hopping in the booth with me today. I know this was very last minute. I had meant to put out a post earlier in the day, and my brain was just kind of mush all day, which it still kind of is. But we're getting there. We're getting through the day. Thank you to Thaonar and Franklin for allowing us to restream this and put on a show for everybody this evening. These were some fun flags. The different flags that you both chose, and you went back and forth on the flag set, tweaking little things, and I think you came down to a interesting flag set. Definitely a fun one for us to watch. Thank you to FFR for allowing me to put the show on for y'all tonight. We couldn't have done it without y'all. I mean, I guess we could have. We could have put it on somebody else's channel, but nobody would have seen it on my channel. At least 12 of you have seen it tonight on this channel. And the hundreds of you that are going to watch it on YouTube later on, whenever we get there. So thank you all for coming in and watching, the viewers. Specifically, without you, there wouldn't be a reason to put the show on a weekly basis, on a tournament, seasonal basis kind of thing. So we thank you all. Upcoming events, I already talked about Lefeinian Ladder ending soon. We have the Duck Derby ongoing right now, Saturday nights at 9:30 and Sunday mornings at 10:30. Or I may have those times backwards, I'm not sure. But our Duck Derby, it is coming on to the final week before we get into finals. So the matches that we see on Saturday and Sunday this week, whoever comes ahead will be our runners that will be running in the following week, which we will get to see the return of the 2025 Winter Tournament finale flags. So that should be a really good show to watch our Ducks suffer through that, as those of us that were in the tournament suffered through them as well. They're a lot of fun. Prepare to dive sky early. That's all I'm going to say.
Oi, no help. Let them figure it out. Come on.
That's all I'm going to say. Prepare to dive sky early. But yeah, with that, the only other thing I want to mention is we have the summer FFR Rando Marathon coming up. It's a live event. It's going to be held on June 13th to the 15th with a pre-show happening on Thursday night. The event is all donations for the event go to the Liam Foundation charity. If you want to come and see some different randomizers that maybe you haven't seen, check us out. We'll be hosting live on this channel, and if you happen to be in Charleston, Virginia on that weekend and you want to stop by, I think that you can still purchase tickets at the door. So we look forward to seeing you all either live in person or live in chat. With that, I think that's everything we have to go over for the night. So we look forward to seeing you all again in the future. With that, I think we'll go ahead and sign off for the night.